it just drained right out. And I said, great. And that's the kind of thing that happens.
So do you also use it with clients that have cancer, and what's the effect of that?
Well, I don't say it's a cure for cancer. I think it's something that helps. It's, for one thing, cancer cells can't live in oxygen in the test tubes. In the body, it doesn't like it. But the ozone stimulates your own body's immune system to fight cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Your own body can fight cancer. So it stimulates your immune system to fight it, raises your health of your entire immune system and your circulatory system and all your organelles by the oxygen, all the cellular organelles. And then it inhibits the tumors. Now it doesn't. It can inhibit your own immune system will inhibit the tumors, but it doesn't like being in oxygen. So you can keep that in mind.
Okay.
Now the interesting studies that hasn't come out yet, but if you go onto YouTube, you can listen to people like Dr. Frank Schallenberger, Dr. Rowan. There's another doctor.
I think some of them, they speak on the cure for cause. And I had a girlfriend with a form of cancer, and in between she did decide to go through some chemo, but in between she was getting ozone therapy and vitamin C IVs. She's vibrant and she still keeps up with, other stuff. So I can attest that it's great.
Right. So, Dr. Leibowitz also, that's another one. He talks about it. And in conjunction with other therapies, like the IPT therapy with the insulin combined with chemo, low levels of chemo. And then that's been improved now by the SOT therapy that Dr. Monholland and others do. Dr. Monholland, he uses something in it that's where they take your own blood and they weaponize it and put it back in the body, and that's supposed to be tremendous. So there's other great therapies. Now, the studies that I was mentioning that Dr. Rowan and Dr. Schallenberger have talked about is that preliminary studies that indicate and suggest that it will help the effects of chemotherapy improve the results about 30%. So people who are doing conventional medical care can look at that, and they can talk to the doctor about it, and they can get help to improve their results just with the use of chemotherapy, boosting their immune system. And
so that would be an adjunctive therapy that they could do in combination, which would be really effective to help make the chemotherapy even more effective, right?
Right.
That's
Absolutely.
Awesome. That's
Absolutely.
Awesome. It's funny, in listening to you talk, Jim, I'm so present to the fact that there's so much out there that can help us in so many ways, and it's real, and yet people have to be able to be willing to go outside of that box that says swallow a pill and you'll be fine, right?
Absolutely.
And you face that every day. What is your biggest challenge in that, in really helping people break through that?
Well, the thing is that when people get sick and they get hurt and their life is being challenged, it's hard to assess everything because you go to different sources and all the health sources aren't always unified. And so you hear this group say this is the only way or this group is the only way. But one has to really kind of do a little bit of research and talk to people that they trust and listen to people that have gotten results so that they can be encouraged to go forward. And then the early Greeks used to say there's no danger without danger. In other words, at some point you need to make a decision, and no matter which way you make a decision, there might be some kind of danger that you don't know.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But you talk to people, you research, you pray about it, and then you make a decision.
So you actually have to be your own triage in that way, but that's why we have the holistic community, because we really want to bring together people like yourselves and Dr. Smithers and the other people that we interview, bring them together so that people can have that kind of source to really be able to make those kinds of decisions and not feel that they're rushed into the hospital and rushed into a procedure that may or may not work. I love the Greek quote that you gave us, Jim. I'm sure you're full of them, right?
Danger can only be overcome with danger.
Oh.
Yeah. Well,
one of the power.
Yeah, go ahead. Go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry. I was thinking of something very powerful that you're talking about, because this is the power I achieved through getting involved in more natural ways and understanding the body is empowerment. When you have empowerment, you have less fear. What I learned is that the body is not only biochemical, it's energetic. So when we adopt that, then just like the first therapies you were talking about with microcurrent, people get the picture that our bodies can be blocked. The energy needs to flow. So, but this empowerment is invaluable. And that's what you're helping to
It
bring.
is, because remember that the healing arts and the physicians, it used to be that they were almost like the ministers. They were almost like ministers. They would go to people. They would travel long distances. They would help people. They didn't always get paid much. Many of them went and they had to travel and take tours out of their life to travel to big cities and go east and everything and study in places so they could get updated information so they could take it to people. And they really, they minister to people. And somehow that has to be restored. The idea that we're here that we're here as agents of the divine, to help people and let God work through us to do work, to make a difference, and to go and learn from people. But these lectures that you guys do at the organization, what's the name of the org that used to be the
Holistic Community? Yeah,
The holistic community where they can go and learn about what's available, and they can meet other people and who are learning and helping each other. And that's how we learn, being in groups.
Yeah, I love it. And I love the fact that, you started with this microcurrent. And you had your massage training, you did your neuromuscular. You started with microcurrent, and how you saw, like Kimberly was talking about, electricity is really part of what we need to really honor as a part of our system. But then there's also the chemical, which is also a part of our information to our body. And that's where you went into ozone therapy and started treating people like that. So it's just so exciting to know that there are all of these other modalities, and there's people like yourself, Jim, that are willing to break through and push the envelope, if you will, for new technologies and new ways to look at things so that people can be helped, right?
Right. Think way back. Remember Magic Johnson, the basketball player he was such a hero and so great. And then he got AIDS. And everybody back then, 30 years ago or so, give or take, they died with AIDS. But he went to Germany. Germany, when they quit, everybody in the world went to antibiotics. Germany, Russia, Austria, they never gave up on ozone. They've developed all kinds of advanced ozone therapy. So he went there and he probably got ozone IV. And today he's alive. They even think, I don't know for sure, that he might have actually got the microbe completely out of him, but he's completely healthy. And that's because he overcame danger. He said, I'm going to try something. Listen, here works. They tell me that I only have a 10% or 15% chance. Well, that's enough for me to say, let's ditch it and let's go try something that might help.
Yeah,
right.
That's a really great example. It's really excellent. So I know, Jim, you and your wife, Becky, have really been on a mission to provide innovative and effective healthcare services and educational material to the people that you're in contact with. And we're so glad to have you part of our community. And I'm so grateful to work with you as you know that we're doing. So just any last words for our listeners, and also how they can get in touch with you?
Sure. Basic thing is that ozone therapy is used for just about every condition in the body. People that are fighting chronic viruses, Lyme, Epstein-Barr, chronic fatigue syndrome, autoimmune diseases, HIV, inflammatory arthritis. All these kind of things can be helped, and it can fit into a health program with so many different things. And people can get in touch with me at the Gabriel Center, 954-0300. I can meet with them. There's all kinds of modalities. I'm studying modalities that people can use at home to help them. Because if people pump their own gas, they can more efficiently, economically take care of themselves, because you can just about grow broke. But people who take care of themselves and change their nutritional patterns, their diet, and they get exercise, and they take free their mind from worry, those people have tremendous better benefits. So if people want to talk, they can call me at that number.
And you have a website as well?
I have a website, info@jimgabriel.net.
And that's the Gabriel Center for Wellness.com, I believe is your website. So people can find out about you there. It's so great to have you, Jim. Thank you so much. I feel like you just started scraping the surface with what you can share with us. So really appreciate you coming.
What a pleasure. God bless you guys.
Thank you so much, Jim.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning into our show on SocietyBitesRadio.com. Don't worry, if you've missed a show, you can find them all on our website at SarasotaHolisticChamberofCommerce.com.